Hello, welcome. We are going to be opening up the Edge of Eternities bundle, and we're going to see what all comes inside here. Of course, we can expect the oversized spin down life counter, which I always get very excited about because they're so pretty. And this one looks like it's going to be extra cool. Looks like there's some glitter in there. And then we have the card box, of course, 9 play boosters, and 10 traditional foils, 10 regular basic lands, 2 reference cards. We got the 5 traditional foil and borderless celestial basic lands, and an alt art emissary escort. So let's get into it and see. Wow, I feel like I did a bad job on that. All right. Oh, cool. So this talks about all the planets. Oh, snap. Okay. It's really pretty. Wow. It's so stunning. I love it. And I love the little planet symbol. So cute. All right, let's start with, we're gonna crack these packs, but first let's start with these lands, which I am actually really excited about. These lands. I think these lands look so good. Let's zoom in close now that we're doing packs here, but like these lands are gorgeous. Like, look at this. All right, we'll read this in a minute. Like, oh, I'm obsessed. I think the swamp is my favorite. Yeah, the swamp is my favorite for sure. I love it. All right, let's read what Emissary, gosh, why is it so hard to say? Escort says. So it is a 2 mana 0/4 artifact creature robot soldier. This creature gets +X+0, where X is the greatest mana value among other artifacts that you control. Okay, let's crack some play boosters. Shattered Wings, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying, surveil 1. Turbo Drone, so tap target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains haste until the end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Exile target creature or spacecraft. That's going to be good in limited. So we have the Mechan Shieldmate Defender. As long as an artifact enters the battlefield under your control this turn, this creature can attack as though it didn't have Defender. That's pretty good too. A 3/2 for 2. Focus Fire. I haven't seen this card yet. I'm saying that because I just opened a collector booster box, which I just uploaded that video, I think yesterday, if you're watching this today. I haven't seen every card in the set, so, but I will read through most of them. Focus Fire deals X damage to target attacking or blocking creature, where X is 2 plus the number of creatures and or spacecrafts that you control. Nano Form, whenever this creature becomes tapped, untap another target permanent. This ability only triggers once each turn. Dock Worker Drone, this creature enters with a 1/1 counter on it. Whenever this creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Mouth of the Storm, Flying Word 2. Whenever this creature enters, creatures your opponents control get -3/-0 until your next turn. Fill Grav Ship. So this is a spacecraft. Whenever this spacecraft enters, you mill 3 cards, then return a creature or spacecraft from graveyard to your hand. Tap a creature that you control to put a charge counter on it equal to its power. And you can only activate that as a sorcery, but whenever it gets 8 of those counters, it becomes a 3/2 flying lifelink. All Fate Stalker, whenever this creature enters, exile up to 1 target non-assassin creature until this creature leaves the battlefield. Lightstall Inquisitor. It's a 1 mana angel wizard Vigilance. Whenever this creature enters, each opponent exiles a card from their hand and may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Each spell cast this way costs 1 more to cast. Each land played this way enters tapped. 1 mana 2/1. Alpha Riel. Stone Chosen. 5 mana legendary human cleric. 3/3. Ward, discard a card at random. Whenever Alpha Riel attacks, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped, defending player loses half their life rounded up. Oh my gosh. Dawn Strike Vanguard, 6 mana 4/5 lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control other than this creature. And a land. Lander token, robot token. All right. We have a Ice Cave Crasher. Trample 4/4. Whenever a land you control enters, this creature gets +1. Let me just zoom in. There we go. At the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or spell warped, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Frontline War Rager. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Starbreach Well. Whenever this creature enters, surveil 2. And it's a 3/5 with flying. Starport Security. Tap another target creature. This ability costs 2 less to activate if you control a creature with a 1/1 counter on it. Ooh, nice. So if you do, then it only costs 2. Germinating Worm. When this creature enters, you gain 2 life. It has warp. Swarm Caller. Flying. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, draw a card. Ruinous Rampage. Choose 1. Deals 3 damage to each opponent or exile all artifacts with mana 3 or less. That is so messed up. Infiltrator. So 3 mana Jellyfish Rogue. This creature can be blocked if you cast 2 or more spells this turn. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. We have a Voidborn, which is a 3 mana. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, target opponent loses a life and you gain a life. Rescue Skiff. So this is a spacecraft. Whenever the spacecraft enters, return target creature or enchantment card from graveyard to the battlefield. Once this gets 10 counters on it, it becomes a 5/6 with flying. 0 point. Destroy all creatures with toughness X or less. You lose X life. If X is 6 or more, return a creature card put into a graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. Focus Fire. It deals X damage to target attacking or blocking creature. We saw this one earlier. All right. Nutrient Block. 1 mana artifact, which is indestructible. You can sacrifice it to gain 3 life for 2. Whenever this artifact is put into graveyard from the battlefield, you draw a card. Ice Cave Crasher. Whenever a land you control enters, this creature gets +1. Oh yeah, this is the 4/4 with trample. War Rager. Skittermaw Menace 2/2. Uh-oh, my focus. At the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, oh yeah, Void. Starbreach Well. Oh, we did see this one too. Ooh, Zealous Display. Creatures get +2/+0 until the end of turn. It's not your turn, and tap those creatures. Wormwall Sweeper. It's a 2 mana artifact spacecraft. When this spacecraft enters, surveil 2. Whenever it has 4, it becomes a 2/2 with flying. Seam Rip. When this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls with mana 2 or less until this leaves the battlefield. Cerebral Download. Surveil X, where X is the number of artifacts you control, then draw 3 cards. Hilter Blade. Equip creature gets +3/+1, and it has Void. Roving actuator. I can't say that. It's a 3/4 robot with void. Whenever this creature enters, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, or if a spell was warped, exile up to one target instant or sorcery card with mana 2 or less from your graveyard. Copy it. Nice. Ooh. So pay 2 life, sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to that sacrificed creature's power. Activate only as a sorcery. Dockworker drone. When this creature this creature enters with a 1/1 counter on it. Whenever this creature dies, put its counters on a target creature you control. All right, we have a Exosuit Savior. Flying. Whenever this creature enters, return up to one other target permanent you control to its owner's hand. Sky Warden. At the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. The spell costs X less to cast, where X is a number of differently named lands you control. As long as you control an artifact, this creature gets +1 and has Death Touch. Divert Disaster. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. If they do, you make a lander token. All right, this is a Jellyfish. When this creature enters, tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it with warp. Melt Strider's Gear. So 1 mana whenever this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2/+1 and has reach. Ooh, I haven't seen this one. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, Tanuki deals 1 damage to each opponent. If it's the second time this ability is resolved, draw a card. Wow. I love it. Rayblade Trooper. When this creature enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever a non-token creature you control, the 1/1 counter on it dies, you make a 1/1 human soldier creature token, and it has warp. Vault Guard Trooper. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. Caesarian Dirgecraft. It's a 5 mana spacecraft. Whenever the spacecraft enters, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. If you get 7 counters on this, then it becomes a 4/3 with flying. Possibility Technician. So this is a Kavu Artificer, 3 mana, 3/3. Whenever this creature or another Kavu you control enters, exile the top card of your library. For as long as that card remains exiled, you may play it if you control a Kavu. Another Fungal Colossus. Full art land. All right. Biosynthetic Burst. 2 mana instant. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature control. It gains reach, trample, and indestructible, and untap it. Plasma Bolt. So it deals 2 damage to any target. Deals 3 damage instead if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped. Hole Carver. So this is a 1 mana 1/1 with Death Touch. Mental Modulation. The spell costs 1 less to cast during your turn. Tap target artifact or creature, draw a card. Lux Knight Breacher. 4 mana 2/2. This creature enters with a 1/1 counter on it for each other creature and artifact you control. Diplomatic Relations. Target creature gets +1 and gains vigilance. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Oh, Crumb Companion, so cute. Look at this dog. It's a 2/1 for 2. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you gain a life. Put target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. Zookeeper Mechan. This is a 2 mana 1/3 artifact creature. You can tap it to add red or pay 7 and target creature you control gets +4. Activate only as a sorcery. Infiltrator. This creature can't be blocked if you've cast 2 or more spells this turn, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Rescue. Yeah, we did see this one as well. Close Encounter is additional cost to cast this spell. Choose a creature you control or a warped creature you own in exile. Close Encounter deals damage equal to the power to target. Oh, nice. See a lot of removal in green. Oh, we saw this one too, I think, earlier. At the beginning of combat on your turn, up to one, or maybe that was like from my, maybe that was from my collector pack. At the beginning of combat on your turn, up to one other target artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with a base power and toughness 2/2 and gains flying. Whenever it has 9 counters, it's a 4/4 flying vigilance. This is a circuit feeder. When this creature enters, until the end of turn, target creature you control gets +X/+0, and target creature an opponent controls gets -0/-X, where X is the number of artifacts that you control. Lander token and a drone. All right, we have 4 packs left. Cloud Sculpt Technician. Flying. As long as you control an artifact, this creature gets +1. It's pretty good. Bright Spears Zealot. So this is a 3-mana vigilance. This creature gets +2 as long as you've cast 2 or more spells this turn. 2/4. Sky Stinger. Reach. Whenever this creature blocks a creature with flying, it gets +5 until the end of turn. Nebula Dragon. Flying. Whenever this creature enters, it deals 3 damage to any target. Oh, so this is a 3-mana flying. Whenever this creature dies, create a tapped 2/2 robot creature token. Red Tiger. I haven't seen this one. This is a 3/3 with haste. Robot cat with warp. Swarm Color. Flying. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, draw a card. Terra Botanist. Whenever a land you control enters, you gain a life. Love that. 2-mana 2/3 with Landfall. Voidborn. Oh, we did see this earlier. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, target opponent loses the life and you gain a life. I feel like this set's going to be so fun to play in limited. Also, I'm very excited for that. Deals 3 damage to each opponent. Exile all artifacts with mana 3 or less. That just makes me laugh because it's so artifact heavy. This creature, okay, we did see this one. Biotech Specialist. Whenever this creature enters, make a lander token. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, this creature deals 2 damage to target opponent. Wow, love that. Land Seeker. Whenever this creature enters, make a lander token at the beginning of your instep. On your next turn, sacrifice that token. 4/3 with Menace. All right. Fungal Colossus. Whenever another artifact you control enters, you may pay 1. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Nice. Whenever this creature enters, until end of turn, another target creature you control gets +2, and whenever the creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Cryogen Relic. Whenever this artifact enters or leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Sacrifice this artifact to put a stun counter on up to 1 target tapped creature. Light Blade. Flash. When this equipment enters, attach it to target creature control and it gains first strike. Until the end of turn, it gets +1/+0. When this creature enters or dies, surveil 1. Radiant Strike. Destroy target artifact or tapped creature, you gain 3 life. Whenever this creature attacks, you may pay 2. If you do, make a 2/2 robot that's tapped and attacking. Sacrifice it at the end of combat. Flying Ward 2. Whenever this creature enters, creatures your opponents control get -3/-0 until your next turn. Taalia. So we have Taalia. Whenever they enter or attack, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever one or more creatures you control with 1/1 counters on them, deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Stomping Grounds. Ooh, so we got another Tanuk. Wait, this one's different. Other creatures you control have haste. Artifact cards and red creature cards in your hand have warp. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Oh, we saw that. Work plate. Whenever another artifact you control enters, you may pay 1. Oh yeah, we saw this a while ago. I like it. I like it. Whenever this creature enters, return up to 1 other target permanent you control to its owner's hand. The Fungal Colossus. When this equipment enters, attach it to target creature control. It gets +2/+1 and has reach. When this spacecraft enters, it deals 10 damage to up to 1 target creature. 7/7 flying. Siege Ship Brood Tender. When this creature enters, mill 3. You can pay 5, sack this creature, return target creature or spacecraft from graveyard to the battlefield. Wow. Desculpting Blast. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If it was attacking, you make a 1/1 drone with flying, and it can only block creatures with flying. Territorial Bruntar. Reach Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, exile the top card of your library until you exile a non-land card, and you can cast that card this turn. Silencer. So whenever a non-token artifact creature you control deals combat damage to a player, they get 2 poison counters. Ooh, Arch Enemy's Charm. So this is 3 black. Instant. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Love that. Return 1 or 2 target creature or planeswalker cards from graveyard to your hand. Put 2 1/1 counters on target creature you control. It gains a lifelink until the end of turn. Lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tap creatures, put a 1/1 on each creature you control other than this creature. Nice. All right, last pack. Night Luminary. When this creature enters, make a 1/1. Death Touch. When this creature enters, another target creature you control gains Death Touch. When this creature enters, make a land or token and then sacrifice it. All right, so you better use it. Beam Saw Prospector. So this is a 2 mana 2/1. When this creature dies, make a lander token. Flying. As long as you control an artifact, it gets +1. This equipment, when this equipment enters, attach it to target creature. Oh, we did see, we just saw that one. When this spacecraft enters, surveil 2. And when it gets 4, it's a 2/2. Dreaming Acolyte. So this is a 3 mana 2/3. Whenever Alfrail enters, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact. During your turn, Alpha Riel has Death Touch. Pulsar Squadron Ace. When this creature enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a spacecraft from among them, put it into your hand. Put the rest onto the bottom of your library in random order. If you didn't put a card into your hand this way, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. And an Acolyte. Whenever one, so this is a 4/4 lifelink. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to player, you draw a card and lose a life. And at the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield or a spell was warped, you make a 2/2 robot. Ooh, Exalted Sunborn. Whoa, this is a angel 5 mana 4/5 flying lifelink. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many tokens are created instead. Yes, please. Oh, that is going straight into my commander deck. Wow. I love that. What a great ending with the Exalted Sunborn. I really wanted this card. Well, that is what came in my Edge of Eternities bundle. Thank you again so much to Wizards for making me an MTG ambassador and giving me early access to these so I can share them all with you. And thank you so much for watching and staying till the end. I will see you next time. Bye.